So this was my aha, that poverty has nothing to do with money. With the exception of sustenance poverty, which is a roof over your head and food on your table, every other poverty is mental.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Black Excellence Daily. I'm your host, Sean Croxton. We've got John Hope Bryant on the show today. He's going to talk about how poverty and wealth are a mindset and what they have to do with your self-esteem, your confidence, your role models, and your environment. John Hope Bryant, he's coming up.
Because I can fast forward like that and bring you up to 1968, which is the first time anybody ever talked to black people about money again. And it wasn't a banker or a capitalist, it was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he said in 68, you cannot legislate goodness, you cannot pass a law to force someone to respect you. The only way to social justice in a capitalist country is economics and ownership. That's a quote you don't hear about Dr. King. By the way, he was mobilizing all poor people around poverty, and there are more poor whites in America than poor anybody else then and now. Here's my premise as we go up to this day today. 35 million black people never got a class in capitalism. Let that sit in for a moment. Neither did my white friends in rural white America. Neither did most middle-class people today of any race. So whether you're white, black, red, brown, or yellow today, you want to see some more green. Or are you just financially independent? You're independently wealthy. I'm not talking to you, obviously. How many folks here have too much month at the end of their money? Oh, just me. See, I'm from the black church. I'm used to seek and respond. I'm actually talking to you. Let's have an honest conversation now. I'm not saying you're broke. I'm not putting some target in your back. I'm saying that 70% of all Americans are living from paycheck to paycheck today. 70%. 64% of all Americans don't have $500 saved. 64% don't have $500 for an emergency. I'm going to say this, I'm going to ask this once again. I don't care how much you make, you can spend it. You can make $100,000 a year and still spend $101,000 a year. Can I get an amen? So how much of you, aspirationally now, not literally, have too much month at the end of your money? I mean, I can wait here all day until you're honest with yourself. So you're telling the folks who are not raising their hands, you just have cash coming out of your ears. You just are cool. You got 2 Rolls Royces, 3 homes, and it's more money you can imagine. Okay, well, you'll have that conversation with yourself and your CPA later. As for me, I never have enough for all the things I want to do. My point here is that it's not that poor and struggling families got the memo on money and screwed it up. They never got the memo. And what I'm going to show you very quickly now, I'm going to run through this real quickly, is that, so this was my aha, that poverty has nothing to do with money. With the exception of sustenance poverty, which is a roof over your head and food on your table, every other poverty is mental. So let's go to this very quickly. Half of poverty in the world, irrespective of race, low self-esteem and low confidence in yourself. If you don't know who you are by 9 in the morning, by dinner time, somebody's going to tell you who you are. Try driving your car without confidence. Try raising your children without confidence. They will run over you. Can I get a parent to say amen? Are you guys alive? Are you awake down here? Try going and running your department, your division, without confidence. I'm not even talking about self-esteem, which is how you feel about yourself. I'm talking about the ability to execute with confidence in the external world. Try doing that without confidence. I'm going to get back to why that's important in a second. Low self-esteem and low confidence. That's half of all failure and poverty in the world. The second part of poverty is role models and environment. So if all you see in your neighborhood as symbols of success are rap stars, athletes, and drug dealers, why is anybody surprised that kids in that neighborhood want to grow up to be a rap star, an athlete, or a drug dealer? Actually, it's good common sense. You're modeling what you see. Environment. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to do this quick. Environment basically means if you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th. I'm giving you guys my best stuff, and it's unbelievable. Then you have aspiration. Aspiration is a code word for hope. The most dangerous person in the world, listen now, is a person with no hope. That leads to opportunity. But if you have low self-esteem and low confidence, crappy role models in a crappy environment, you don't have a lot of aspiration, no hope, you see the glass is half empty, not half full, you never leave your porch. Normally have somebody doing this thing for me, so hold on a minute. So let me now talk to you about what wealth is. Wealth is exactly the opposite. Has nothing to do with money. High self-esteem and high confidence. Sir, have we ever met before? No. All right. You saw somebody growing up who was a man who wore a suit and said, I can be a professional or a businessman just like him, yes or no? Yes. Okay. Sir, have we ever met? No. Okay. He says, why pick on me? Because you're there. You growing up, you saw a man wearing a suit who was a professional, businessman, something that had to do with a shirt with a collar on it, and you said, I can do that, yes or no? Yes. Young lady, we ever met before? We have. Then I'm not talking to you. Have we ever met before? Okay. You saw, growing up, you saw a lady. She was had a different vision for herself. She was going to be a professional and maybe raise a household too. She wanted to do it all. She was going to do it all, and she decided she was going to make a way out of no way. She became a professional. You looked at her and said, I can do that too, yes or no? Have we ever met before? Is that story basically your story as well? You see, this is not a black story or a brown story or a Latino story or an Asian story or an Indian story or an American story. It's just a story. It's just how people evolve. It's role model. You model what you see. So this is very important, and it relates to what the gentleman said before me about how that community in Japan revitalized more than others did. And basically, if I had to give you a quote, and I love quotes, I'd say this. You have idiots and fools running countries and companies and brilliant people who are homeless precisely because it's not about how smart you are. There's only one reason to go to Harvard. Harvard's a great school. I have a degree from Harvard. Harvard's a great school. I'm not digging on Harvard. But you don't pay 5 times more to go to Harvard than a state university because you're going to end up 5 times smarter. You do not. You only pay 5 times more to go to Harvard for one reason. The class of 2018 is going to hook each other up for the next 40 years. That's the only reason. This is the memo, people. It's what people never taught you about wealth, power, success, how it works in the world. And here is your memo. You are the new economic development czars in every community you operate in. You are putting a pop of unscheduled economic activity after every disaster, because rainbows only follow storms. That's not just nice theory. It's actually scientific fact that you literally cannot have a rainbow without a storm first. But if all you are is an unscheduled water hose of money, and all you have is ready, fire, aim, you can do nothing about changing this. And this is the whole ball game. Because now everything is economic. We don't have time for this conversation, but let me try to make it in summary. Let's say you push back on what I'm saying, and you don't think the Economic Red Cross is central to what you do. I'm going to say to you that we're central to everything you do. You cannot go through your day. You cannot get through your morning. You cannot go to sleep at night without having a financial transaction. Help me out here. I'm going to do this quickly. This morning, you brushed your teeth. Was that a government-issued toothbrush? Okay, somebody paid for it, right? Okay, the alarm clock went off. Today it would be a cell phone, right? That was not a government-issued cell phone, what it might be in some cases here. But somebody in your house bought a cell phone. Okay, all right. Help me out here. You slept on a pillow and a mattress that you bought. You're in a house that you paid for, whether it's a mortgage or whether it's rent. You got in your car, you drove to the office in that probably has a car note on it that you're paying for. You stopped and got community socialism gas. No, you didn't get communism gas. You had to pay for the gas, right? I mean, you love your children. And And unless you have a grandmother at home, you have to pay somebody to take care of those interestingly behaved children. From the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night, it's a series of financial transactions. Even that parking meter outside of this building, an inanimate object, understands capitalism better than we do. But no one's teaching it. What's the number one reason why communities don't recover? Economics and poverty. What happened in Hurricane Katrina? We sent all those debit cards. I don't know if you remember this. We sent all those cards to a state that was financially unbanked. And then when they got a hold of the money, because they were financially illiterate, no matter how nice they were, they went and did interesting things with the money. We don't have time to get into these stories, but it will break your heart. But it's not just about poor people. Right now in Santa Barbara, there are $1 million properties that cannot be rebuilt because the people thought my mortgage is paid off, I don't need insurance anymore, I'm a senior citizen, I'm in this wonderful neighborhood, what's going to ever happen to me? This is a crisis right now, all up and down the California coast. Houston, where 10% of the homes that were devastated had flood insurance. I can go on and on and on. This is primarily an economic crisis. You have people in Alabama that are still trying to recover from that natural disaster, 5 or 6 years ago, where very few of those communities were rebuilt. And I went in there personally and tried to talk to some residents and try to give them the SBA emergency disaster documentation. And many people say, oh, I'm not signing that. I don't have a small business loan. Some of you know what I'm talking about. You cannot even get access to anything unless you fill out this paperwork. I can go on and on. This is not an issue, ladies and gentlemen. This is the issue. But we're doing nothing about it.
That was John Hope Bryant. You can learn more about him at operationhope.org, and you can watch today's entire talk on YouTube. It's called Prep Talks, John Hope Bryant, Financial Literacy and Overcoming Liquid Asset Poverty. All right, my friend, that is it for me. Join the book club at QODbookclub.com. We are reading the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, and we get started on Wednesday, August 6th. I hope to see you there. Again, that is QODbookclub.com. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Peace.